Hey Lakers fans, I just finished looking at trades on my computer for 3 hours straight, and I can feel my heart beating fast. There might be a trade coming that could fix one of our biggest problems this year. When I put all the information together, I realized this could be the exact kind of move that changes a good team into a team that can win a championship. The player I'm about to tell you about isn't a huge superstar name that everyone will talk about, but he is exactly the smart, useful player that Coach J.J. Redick needs to make our team even better. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report. This is your place for the newest updates, inside information, and all the rumors about our favorite Los Angeles Lakers. If you're here, you love the Lakers just like I do. And I promise that what you are about to hear will change how you think about our chance to win a championship this season. Let me start by talking about where our team is right now, because that's important to understand. The Lakers have 18 wins and 7 losses. That puts us in third place in the Western Conference, which is full of really good teams. Think about that for a second. After all the questions and doubts, after all the people who said this team couldn't be great, we are right in the middle of the fight for a championship. Austin Reeves has become a real star next to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. The way Reeves plays with our best players has been amazing, creating an offense that makes us dangerous every single game. But here is what worries me at night. And here is what I have been thinking about for the last few weeks. We have a problem with how many good players we have. Not at every position, but in one very important area that could ruin our whole season if we don't fix it. DeAndre Ayton has been everything we wanted as our starting center. He is protecting the basket. He is getting rebounds. He is giving us that strong presence near the basket that we really needed. The problem is not with our first 5 players who start the game. The problem is what happens when those guys need to take a break. Jackson Hayes has shown he can be good sometimes, but let's be honest with each other. He is not giving us the steady, reliable play we need from our backup big man. He is very inconsistent. And in the playoffs, when coaches use fewer players and every time we have the ball matters, we cannot afford to have question marks coming off the bench. And then there is Jared Vanderbilt, who has been dealing with injuries that have kept him from playing for a long time. When he is healthy, he is a monster on defense. When he is not available, we are rushing around trying to fill that hole. This is where teams that win championships separate themselves from teams that just pretend to be good. It is not just about having 3 stars. It is about having 7 or 8 guys you can trust in very important moments. It is about having enough good players to handle injuries, players getting in foul trouble, and the normal good and bad times of an 82-game season. Right now, we do not have that many good players in our front court. The players who are usually taller and play near the basket. And every other team in the league knows it. So I started looking into it. I started looking at teams that might be willing to trade players before the trade deadline. I started finding players who could fill this exact need without messing up our best players or hurting our future. And that is when I found something that has me really excited about what could happen. There is a team in the Eastern Conference that is having a bad season, like really bad. They have 11 wins and 16 losses. They are in 10th place in the East, which is very surprising when you see how good their players are. They have a player who has won the MVP award twice, who is apparently thinking about leaving the team. They just had one of the worst losses in their team's history, losing by 45 points to a team that is rebuilding. When things get that bad, changes are going to happen. And when teams start making changes, chances open up for teams like ours. Now, this team that is struggling has a player who is on a contract that ends after this season. He is an older big man who has had some amazing moments with his current team. But he might be available as they try to change their team and get players or picks for the future. This is a player who brings exactly what we need: more good players in the front court, toughness, rebounding, and the ability to shoot from outside. The more I watched how he plays, the more I realized he is the perfect fit for what Coach J.J. Redick is trying to build here in Los Angeles. Let me describe for you what this player can do. First and most important, he can spread the floor by shooting. In today's NBA, having big men who can shoot from far away is super important. It opens up paths to the basket for LeBron and Austin Reeves. It creates more space for Anthony Davis to work near the basket. It makes our offense much harder to defend, because the other team can't just crowd near the basket and hope we miss our shots. But it is not just about shooting. This guy is a beast at getting rebounds. He attacks the offensive boards with crazy energy, creating extra chances to score that can change who has the momentum in a game. He is the type of player who annoys the other team with how physical and hard he plays. He plays with an attitude, with a toughness that you need in playoff basketball. Now, I know what you are thinking. If this player is so good, why would his current team want to trade him? That is a fair question, and here is the honest answer. His defense has been a problem this season. He has had some troubles on that end of the court, which is part of why his team is playing so badly. But here is where I get really excited about this possible trade. We have J.J. Redick as our head coach. Think about what J.J. has already done with our team. He has gotten the best out of players who were not playing well on other teams. He has used plans that hide weaknesses and make strengths even better. He has shown he can get the most out of the players he has, and I really believe he could help this player play better defense in ways his current coaches have not. When you are playing next to Anthony Davis, one of the best defensive players in the NBA, it makes everyone's job easier on defense. And here is another important thing. This player would be coming off the bench for us. He would not be asked to play 35 minutes every night and be the main defender. He would play 20 to 25 minutes, giving us energy and production in specific times where his skills are used best. That is a huge difference. Knowing your job matters in the NBA, and putting players in spots where they can do well is what great coaching is all about. So, let's talk about what a possible trade might look like. To make the money work and create a trade that is good for both teams, we would probably have to send out Jared Vanderbilt and Dalton Knecht. Now, before you start getting worried about losing those guys, let me explain why this makes sense for us. Vanderbilt has been dealing with injuries all season. When he is on the court, he is helpful. But being able to play is the best skill, and we can't keep waiting for him to get healthy while our chance to win a championship is happening right now. We need someone who can help us right away and all the time. As for Knecht, the truth is he hasn't found his place in our group of players. He is a talented shooter who showed what he can do in college at Tennessee, but it hasn't worked out here the way we wanted. He was recently sent to the G League, where he scored 30 points, proving again that when he gets minutes, he can play well. Maybe going to a new team where he can play more would be good for everyone. For the other team, the Milwaukee Bucks, this trade would make sense because they would be getting younger players and a defense specialist in Vanderbilt who could help with their biggest weakness. They would also be getting a shooter in Knecht who could become something special if he gets a chance. It is the kind of move a struggling team makes when they want to change their team a little, instead of starting completely over. Now, here is the moment you have been waiting for. The player I am talking about, the guy who could fix our problem of not having enough good players and give us that extra weapon we need for a championship run, is Bobby Portis from the Milwaukee Bucks. That's right, Bobby Portis to the Lakers. Let that idea sit in your mind for a moment. Portis has been one of the steadiest bench players in the NBA for the last few years. He averaged more than 10 points per game last season while getting almost 8 rebounds per game. He shoots over 35% from three-point range for his career, which is exactly what we need from our backup big man. He is a proven player who has been in big playoff games and has played well in very important moments. This is not some young player who hasn't proven himself or a player we are trying to fix. This is an older, experienced player who knows how to win and knows what it takes to play at the highest level. Imagine our group of players with Bobby Portis coming off the bench. Our first 5 players stay the same with Ayton as our center. Then, when we need some energy, when we need production from our second group of players, we bring in Portis. He immediately gives us something different. He can play next to Davis in some lineups, giving us floor spacing that lets AD play more freely. He can be the main player in the second group when our stars are resting, keeping us in the game and keeping our leads. The fit is almost too perfect. Coach J.J. Redick loves players who can help the game in many ways. Portis has all the skills. He can score near the basket. He can step outside and make threes. He can rebound very well. He plays with the kind of fire and competitiveness that championship teams need. And maybe most importantly, he would be coming into a situation where the pressure is different. He would not be expected to save a team that is struggling. He would be the final piece on a team that is already trying to win a title. Let's talk about the money side of this for a second, because that matters. Portis is on a contract that ends after this season, which means we are not taking on money for many years that could hurt our ability to make moves later. We would be getting him just for this season's push to win a championship without hurting our future. That is the kind of smart risk that teams trying to win need to take. You can't be scared to try everything when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis playing their best basketball. Now, I have also been thinking about other ways to do this. If for some reason the Lakers want to keep Vanderbilt and hope he gets healthy, there might be another way. We could possibly offer Max Christie and a future draft pick to Milwaukee. The money would still work, and it would give the Bucks a different kind of player while still letting us get Portis. The important thing is that there are a few different ways to make this happen, if both teams really want to make a trade. Think about what our bench would look like with this move. We would have Portis giving us more good players in the front court and scoring ability. We would have our group of guards still together. We would be able to play with a big lineup or a small lineup, depending on who we are playing. In a 7-game playoff series against teams like Denver, Phoenix, or whoever comes from the East, having that many good players could be the difference between winning and losing. I also want to talk about the defense problems some people might worry about with Portis. Yes, he has had some struggles this season in Milwaukee. But the situation matters. He has been playing on a team with terrible defense teamwork, a team that just lost by 45 points. When you are surrounded by a mess, it is hard to play well yourself. Put him in our team with our defensive style and our coaching, and I really believe we would see a different player. Anthony Davis makes everyone around him better on defense. His ability to protect the basket, guard different positions, and be the leader of our defense means that Portis would not be asked to do things he is not good at. He would be playing a supporting role, focusing on rebounds and playing hard while AD does the hardest work. That is a plan for success. The more I think about this possible move, the more excited I get. This is exactly the kind of quiet trade that championship teams make. It is not going to be the big news story that a superstar trade would be. Fans who don't watch every game might not even understand how important it is. But those of us who understand basketball, who watch every game and think about every player substitution, we know what this could mean for our dream of winning a championship. Rob Pelinka has shown he is willing to be bold when the right chance comes along. He is not scared to make moves that make the team better, even if they are not the big names that get people talking on social media. This is a move that makes us better right now, while also keeping our options open for the future. That is smart team building. I want to be honest about the problems too. Milwaukee might not be ready to trade Portis yet. They might think they can fix their season and make the playoffs. Other teams might want to get him, creating a competition that makes him cost more. These are all things that could make this harder. But from a pure basketball fit point of view, Portis to the Lakers makes too much sense to ignore. So here is my final thought on this possible move. Bobby Portis would give us exactly what we need. Dependable front-court players, floor spacing, rebounding, and experience in the playoffs. He would be coming into a perfect situation where what he is good at is used best, and what he is not as good at is helped. The cost would be fair, involving players who either don't fit our team or have not been able to play. And most importantly, it would make us a more complete team going into the most important part of the season. This is the kind of move that could be the difference between losing in the second round of the playoffs and having a championship parade down Figueroa Street. I am not saying Portis alone wins us a championship, but he gives us one more tool, one more choice, one more reason to believe this is our year. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Bobby Portis is the right fit for the Lakers? Would you be okay with trading Vanderbilt and Connect to make this happen? What other moves do you think we should be looking at before the trade deadline? Write your thoughts in the comments below, because I read every single one, and I really care about what you think as fellow Lakers fans. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. We're doing awesome. Please subscribe if you like the videos. Thank you again. See you in the next one. Have an awesome day.